Alright guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my experience and opinions on some different ammo out there that's for the Mosin Nagant. Now, obviously, you know, this Wolf, very common brand, everybody shoots it because it's cheap steel case stuff. Not necessarily the best stuff, obviously, but, you know, I run it in a lot of different platforms because it's cheap. It's convenient. But there's, you know, other alternatives out there, and I'm going to talk about some of the experience I've had with some of these different rounds here, and how I feel about them. So let's start off with Wolf. I started shooting Wolf through my Mosin Nagant because I thought, well, you know, it's a cheap brand and it's non-corrosive. So I thought, okay, I'm not doing any risk of damage to the gun, so, you know, maybe I should go this direction instead of buying surplus. Not only that, I gotta say, walking into a store to buy, you know, $20 worth of ammunition is a lot easier to stomach than $100. But trying to sight my Mosin Nagant in with this stuff was horrible. It was so bad. I was getting 10-inch groups at 50 yards. That was the best I could get. And it's not the gun. I cleaned that bore so thoroughly. I mean, it was clean. And the rifling was good. I checked it numerous times. After every time I shot, I checked it, wondering, okay, is it the rifling? Is it this? Is it that? What's wrong here? So, after about 120 rounds or so, trying to sight the Mosin Nagant in, and I just want to be clear here, I have a 4-power scope on it. It's not like I'm trying to sight in those crappy iron sights on the Mosin. There's a 4-power scope on it, and I couldn't get it to sight in at 50 yards. I switched to this. This is about $1 a box more, and it's they're 203 grain bimetal soft points, and they're actually boat tails. So I thought, okay, you're looking at boat tails, probably going to be more accurate. I'll give this a shot. This was much better. Much better. I was actually able to sight in the gun with this. It's far superior. So, if you're going to try and sight in the gun accurately, don't use Wolf. Use something that's a little bit higher end that might actually shoot straight. You know, and I know there's a lot better stuff in this. You know, I mean, this is still reasonably cheap, you know, materials in it and stuff like that. You can probably find, you know, Hornady or something like that. It's going to be quite more expensive, but I'm sure much more accurate. But this was, you know, decent ammunition for the price. But the problem you run into is, even if you want to just do, you know, recreational shooting and go out and shoot a whole bunch of rounds, you can't afford to do it with this, much less this. That's really expensive, unless you have a lot of money, which I do not. So, that's why I bought this. Now, I crunched the numbers after buying this. This is a Romanian surplus tin, probably manufactured in the 1980s. I don't know what all the markings mean. So this is 440 rounds, 7.62. This refers to the bullet type, but I haven't really researched it all. Maybe sometime I'll make a video on what, you know, all the different markings mean on it, if I can, you know, find that out. But I wasn't too worried about that. Anyway, I crunched the numbers, and here's what I got. I got, you know, Wolf. I'm basically paying $11 a box for, without tax. 55 cents a round. Okay. By the surplus, this stuff right here, 19 cents a round. 65% reduction in cost. That is a huge difference. Huge difference. You know, I couldn't pass that up. I just said, okay, you have to take this. It's just too astronomical of a difference. Now, of course, the only downside to this is that it is corrosive ammunition. So you have to be careful. Make sure you clean your gun thoroughly after you get done shooting it. I mean, really clean it out good. Take everything apart. Now, I may be a little bit you know, overprotective of the gun and, you know, ripping apart everything, but I think you can never be too careful when it comes to, you know, using something that is known to corrode your weapon. So that's the only thing you have to worry about. Make sure you clean it good afterwards. Now I figured, in case, you know, somebody's never bought a tin before and don't know what they look like inside, I figured I'd open it up for you and we could take a look and see how it looks in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Now this is the tool and opener. Okay, this is actually a 545 tin opener. That's why it's a different color. It's brown. Same thing. They're the same design. They're just different colors. So I figured it doesn't really matter. I'll take one of these. So anyway, you can also use a screwdriver. There's a couple other ways you can do it, but you know, if you can get a hold of one of the actual designed openers, I think that's a good idea. So basically, just want to make sure that this edge here, or this little notch here, catches the lip on the bottom side of the tin. And you can hook it in there, you can feel it click, and then you can feel the pressure go into the of the serrated edge going into the can here, and you just basically press down, and you can open it up just like a can. Boy, does that smell! Let me tell you, that smells. Alright, so now I'm going all the way around with the opener, as you can see. Now you want to be very careful because these edges are extremely sharp. So you just want to either use this tool or find some others like screwdriver or something to lift up on it. Be very careful and lift her away. Okay. Now these edges are still sharp in the inside edge, so you still have to be very careful. Okay, now there's the paper here. Underneath is all your rounds packaged. Okay, so you got, they're probably in packages of 20, be my guess, but I don't exactly know for sure. 3, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 packages, so yeah, packages of 20 I believe. So go ahead and pull one out from the edge here. Take a look at it. Got the strings on them. I'm going to lift them right out. String side. They're up. And there's your rounds. As you can see here. Packaged. All set to go. They have markings on them. I don't exactly know what they mean. Maybe if I figure it out, I'll post it later. It has 22 and 79 on there. I'm guessing the 79 might be the year. I have no evidence of that. I'm just guessing that. So anyway, there you go. So I would highly recommend this as an alternative to, you know, buying Wolf. Significantly cheaper, and you know, a lot of fun that can come in one box. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe.